Most people think survival means running off to the woods with a bug out bag and disappearing into the hills. But here's the truth. The vast majority of people don't live anywhere near the wilderness, and they probably never will. And if they think they can just disappear and live off the land, well, they'll just become another statistic of SHTF. In the United States alone, over 70% of the population lives in suburban neighborhoods or urban areas. That's not just big cities. That includes those tightly packed housing developments, cookie-cutter neighborhoods, townhomes, and apartment blocks where you're maybe 20 feet or less from your neighbor's kitchen window. And it's not just America. The UK, Canada, Australia, nearly all Western countries are now overwhelmingly urban or suburban. That means millions of people prepping for collapse are doing it within arm's reach of dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of others. So the question isn't, how do you live off-grid in the mountains? The question is, how do you survive when collapse hits and you're surrounded by desperate, unprepared people who are going to notice if you're doing better than they are? So this video isn't about gray man theory or wearing neutral colors. It's about practical, real-world strategies to stay safe, stay hidden, and stay alive in the place you already live, even if it's smack in the middle of suburbia. Your neighbors are your biggest threat, and they won't start out that way. In the first few days or weeks of a major grid-down event, your neighbors will likely be confused, maybe scared, but they're still going to be polite. But when the food runs out, when water stops flowing, and when trash piles up with no pickup in sight, things will start to shift. The guy next door who once waved at you over the fence might now be wondering how you still look so healthy, why your lights still flicker at night, why your dog is eating and his kids aren't. And once someone suspects you have more than you let on, word spreads fast. In a suburb, you're never just hiding from one person. You're hiding from the entire block. Lock down or blend in. The first decision you might be the most important. When SHTF, your first instinct might be to hunker down completely, board the windows, kill the lights, stay silent. In some cases, that's the right move. But total lockdown can also draw attention. If everyone's outside panicking and you've suddenly vanished, people are going to start to notice. Instead, you may need to act like everyone else, just enough. Step outside looking tired and frustrated. Complain about the situation to a neighbor. Don't offer solutions, don't give tips, and definitely don't look like you're in control. Blend in to the chaos. Light, sound, and smell will give you away faster than anything else. One of the first things people notice in a blackout is light. Even a candle can be seen through a window from across the street. That's why blackout curtains alone aren't enough. You're going to want to double layer. Even hang dark sheets behind the blinds and only use light in interior rooms or in boxes designed to trap the light. Sound travels farther than you think, especially when everything else is quiet. That generator hum, that canned food being opened, someone's going to hear it. Keep things quiet. No power tools, no hammering, no music. Smell is another giveaway. Cooking meat or fresh bread can bring people sniffing around from blocks away. If you're heating food, do it early in the morning or late at night when fewer people are outside. Better yet, stick to cold meals when possible to begin with. Your trash is telling on you. Even if you're quiet and you're dark, your trash can betray you. Empty cans, packaging, wrappers. These tell the story of someone who's still eating well. In a long-term crisis, trash isn't something you toss at the curb. You bury it, burn it, or break it down and stash it in ways that look just as desperate as everyone else's. If you need to leave some visible, make it look pathetic. An empty ramen packet taped shut. A single crumpled can. Fake trash can be as important as fake conversation. Sewage and sanitation. You need a plan before it's obvious you have one. Here's a brutal truth. If the municipal water system fails, your toilet is going to become a hazard. You can't flush, and if you try to fake it, it'll back up into your house. People are going to smell it. That makes you stand out. for all the wrong reasons. You need a no-flush waste plan that doesn't tip off the neighbors. Line your toilet with a heavy-duty contractor bag and use a tight sealing lid. Sprinkle with wood ash, lime, or even just dry dirt after each use. This controls odor and keeps waste hidden. Then bury it. Shallow trenches under shrubs or in garden beds, never in obvious holes in the ground. If someone sees you out back with a shovel and a clean shirt, they're going to start asking questions. Decoy deprivation. Look worse than you are. One of the smartest things you can do is look like you're struggling, even when you're not. This means no fresh clothes, no weight gain, and no shiny gear. You may even want to lose a few pounds early on so you don't look suspicious if everyone around you is shrinking and you're not. You should look a little dirty, a little ragged, a little tired. You're hiding in plain sight, not from drones or patrols, but from desperate people with nothing to lose. Cooking without giving yourself away, controlling the smells, the smoke, and the power. Cooking during a crisis is one of the fastest ways to draw attention, and not in a good way. In a neighborhood where people are hungry and desperate, the smell of food cooking travels far. It doesn't matter if you're making soup or frying Spam. Someone is going to smell it. One option worth considering is a portable indoor range hood. It uses activated carbon filters to trap smoke, grease, and cooking odors without needing exterior ventilation. And that's huge when you can't risk letting your neighbors know you've got food on the stove. But this kind of tool, like almost everything worth using, needs power, which brings us to the importance of solar generators. Why a solar generator could be your quiet lifeline. A solar generator doesn't make noise, obviously, like a gas-powered one. There's no engine hum, no fumes, and no need to find fuel when none exists. That makes it ideal for suburban survival, especially if you want to keep the fact that you still have power a secret. Here's what you need to know. Small 200 to 300 watt solar power generators for phones, radios, fans, and low-draw lights. The mid-range ones can handle small appliances like a filtered range hood, a rice cooker, or even a mini fridge. Large ones, 1,500 watts and more, are powerful enough for full cooking setups, but they're harder to hide and power consistently without large panels. How to hide the fact that you have power. Even if you're quiet, people can tell when you're thriving while they're not. So here's how to hide it. Keep those solar panels low to the ground or behind barriers like trellises or fencing. Only run visible electronics in blackout rooms with layered window coverage. Use the power in short bursts. Charge during the day and use cautiously at night. Cover all those indicator lights, battery displays, or even inverter screens that might glow. And absolutely no bright LED lights at night. Even a glow under your front door can give you away. And perhaps most importantly, do not rely on power at all times. Use more conventional tools like candles, hand crank lanterns, battery-free cooking setups, especially after dark. If you act like everyone else, no one will think you've got backup power. But if you light up the house or use modern appliances around the clock, someone is eventually going to put two and two together. Don't help your neighborhood. Don't lead, just survive. This absolutely sounds harsh, but it's critical. When the grid goes down, people look for someone who seems like they know what to do. If that's you, you just became their resource or their threat. Don't take charge. Don't offer water. Don't volunteer advice. It's okay to fake ignorance. You're just as confused and unprepared as everyone else, at least on the outside. That is the safest mask you can wear. You can survive in the suburbs, but only if you become invisible. Prepping in the suburbs doesn't mean building a bunker under your garage, although we'd probably all love to. It means being smart with what you show and what you hide. It means preparing not just for disaster, but for the moment your neighbors realize they didn't. And when that moment comes, the people who survive won't be the loudest or the strongest or the ones waving flags and handing out food. They'll be the quiet ones, the ones who blended in, the ones who kept their mouth shut and their lights off. And when it's all over, they'll still be standing.